Okay, we're trying this live streaming thing because I just moved and I don't have anything set up yet. The apartment's still very echoey because I don't actually have my furniture in here yet, and I'm not sure how the lighting is because I don't have my lights or anything either. A lot of my stuff is still in California, so we're just gonna see what happens here. I figured we could do some catching up because it's been a while since I've posted anything. And this seemed like the easiest way to do it. So hopefully the lighting is okay enough. Hopefully it's not too echoey in here. I am working on it. We'll get there. So first things first, I moved, as mentioned. I am currently living in Michigan now. I was supposed to be moving to Virginia with my husband, but he and I are no longer together. And that's probably all I'm going to say about it. Nobody's mad. It's not like that kind of a thing. It just is. So I moved back home because it was where I felt I needed to be. So I'm here and I'm very happy with that decision. Okay. Probably enough catch up. Oh, I guess maybe I should tell you guys what I plan to do here. Yeah, okay. So I am going to go back to school. I finished my associate's degree in California. I am going to finish the bachelor's degree here. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. I've already reached out and gotten enrolled and all that good stuff. Um, so that is happening. I don't start classes till January. I just plan to like DoorDash and stuff until then. Um, well, that is good to know. I'm okay with the sci-fi feel. Yeah, I'm filming in front of like this very big window. I just don't really get much direct sunlight. So I wasn't sure. But yeah. So anyway, that's basically it for updating things. I guess we'll go ahead and get into tops and flops. If you don't know, tops and flops is like a take on a monthly wrap up. In this case, instead of talking about all the books that I read in the month, I am doing the books that I really liked or really didn't like, just to keep it easier and shorter. Because a lot of times I just don't have much to say about a book, or I feel like I'm filming for hours because I read just way too much in a month. So I should have the complete list of all the books that I read in the month of July in the description box. So if you have any questions about any of those that you see there, go ahead and drop them in the comments and I will try to give you some information on them if I remember. Some books are just very, very forgettable. So I will do my best with that. If you have any questions just about like life stuff, you can go ahead and drop those in the comments as well. Just be respectful, I guess. So let's go ahead and get started. I did try to get book covers because I didn't bring my books with me. And I read a lot of ebooks and audiobooks and stuff. So I think, okay. A Matter of Happiness by Tori Whitaker. I gave this 1 star, which I hate doing because it was a NetGalley book. And I always want to like those because I got them for free, and it's difficult when you get something for free like that. And it's like, oh, by the way, I hated it. But that was the case here. The draw for me with this one is that it's like multi-generational. So we start in present day with a woman called Melanie. She has just broken up with her fiance because he got a job in California. She lives in Kentucky, and he wanted that job, and she wasn't willing to leave her job in the state that she was born and raised in. So she's going through some things that her aunt left, or her great aunt left after she died, and her mom is trying to like sell that house. and she basically finds like a journal and stuff that has been left to her. And the aunt lived in Detroit in the 1920s. I, as mentioned, just moved back to Michigan. I am in the Detroit area. I really love stories that take place where I'm from. So I thought this would be like right up my alley because there was an element of like mystery to it. It was terrible. The modern day portions were awful. Like, I definitely wish it had just been a story about Violet in 1920s Detroit, because I think that would have gone over much better. It was a case of, it felt like a much older person trying to use like teenager slang, and it wasn't working at all. It was actually embarrassing. Like, I found myself cringing at multiple points because I was like, this is just not how people speak. So that was horrible. And then I quickly just got so bored and irritated with the characters in the modern day portion. It was just really repetitive. And most of the time I was just like, shut up. Can I get back to the Detroit stuff? Well, it didn't take very long before the sections that took place in Detroit fell into that same repetitive, boring, nothing is happening trap. So I started skimming, and I got to the end and I was like, big freaking surprise. I guessed all of this way ahead of time, and none of it was worth my time. I have nothing nice to say. So maybe we'll just leave it there. Yes, it is a pretty cover. That is probably the best that I can say for it. Um, oh my god, I loved Firekeeper's Daughter. It was one of those where, like, it took a turn I wasn't expecting, but it worked for me, and I don't know, I have a lot of love in my heart for that book, which also has a beautiful cover. Okay, I think I have one other, like, flop. Yeah, All I Want by Darcy Bell. So, if you have seen the movie A Simple Favor with Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively, then you kind of know Darcy Bell. This is a case, though, where the movie is significantly better than the book. But I decided to take another chance on Darcy Bell because I enjoy thrillers, so I picked up All I Want. This is one of those where I'm like even struggling to remember what it was about at this point. I gave it 1.75 stars, which is actually a little bit generous in my opinion. Ooh, hello from Turkey. Nice to have you. Okay, let me. So, in this book, we are following Emma and her husband Ben, and they buy themselves a home. It is this huge Victorian mansion in upstate New York, and it's definitely a fixer-upper. And that premise just like sucked me in because I love books about houses, even better if it's going to be a thriller or something spooky. But there was just so little that was good about this book. I just ended up being annoyed with all the characters. It was going okay. It probably would have gotten like a 2.5, 3 star until like the very last portion. They threw in another plot twist that basically made the entire book a waste of time, and it served no purpose. None. And because it's a thriller, that's all I'm going to say. But it was one of those things where I finished that and I almost wanted to throw the book because I was like, why did I bother? Why did I bother with any of this? It was such a waste. Okay, so let's stop complaining about books and we will get into books I loved. So this one is The Last Nomad, Coming of Age in the Somali Desert by Shugri Sadsal. I think I'm saying that right. I'm trying to say that right. This is a memoir and it was absolutely incredible. Oh, it was heart-wrenching, but so, so good. So Shugri, the author, she is from a family of nomads. Now, her parents themselves stopped living the nomadic life. They settled in like the city, and that's where they were raising their kids. But Shugri's mother felt like she needed to send somebody to help her mother, because that's just kind of the like culturally how things work. So naturally, she sent a daughter because, as described in the book, daughters are kind of seen as useless and expendable in this world. So that was very very hard, but Shugri loved living the nomadic life with her grandmother, and she is with the title, she's not saying that she's like the last nomad, right? She's just the last nomad in her line. So obviously, like her children are no longer nomads because she stopped living the nomadic life. Um, but it talks a lot about kind of like her inheritance from her nomadic side of the family. She actually, I think coming of age in the Somali desert is maybe a little bit misleading because she was quite young when she left the nomadic tribes and moved back to the city to live with her family and be, properly educated and whatnot. But then she gets caught up in the Somali civil war and she ends up being displaced and is in refugee camps and winds up in Kenya and eventually immigrates to Canada and then the United States. But there's just a lot of very heart-wrenching things that happen here. A big one that I remember is female circumcision. This is, in fact, something that the author goes through, and she does describe the process and the the effects. So tread with caution there because it was a lot. It was an excellent book, though, and it's one that I can definitely see myself reading again in the future. Let's go ahead and stay on the nonfiction theme, and we'll go with Red Famine, Stalin's War on Ukraine by Anne Applebaum. Wow, I was not expecting this. I mean, I guess I was. I think I learned a lot more than I was expecting. It turns out that what I knew about the famine in Ukraine just scratches the surface. And Anne Applebaum did impeccable research, and she had a lot of like anecdotes and firsthand accounts and things of that nature that really impacted the reading experience here. I adored this book. It was horrifying. You really start seeing why communism doesn't work when you're reading this book. You see what power does to people. It's just, if you're looking to understand more of what is happening in Ukraine, between Russia and Ukraine now, Red Famine's not a bad place to start. It is kind of long, but I'm not going to say it's easy to read, but because it's so harrowing, it's not quick to read. I had to put it down a lot just because it talks about the effects of starvation and how starvation actually kills people, and it was rough. It was very rough, but excellent read. Okay, so I gave that one 5 stars as well. Let's hop into fiction. The other book I gave 5 stars to, this is Portrait of a Thief by Grace D. Lee. If you like yourself a good heist story, this is the one. It has very like Ocean's 11 vibes, and they even like reference the movies in the books. It's fabulous. So in this, we are following, I think, 5 Chinese American students, and they wind up through a series of events forming a heist team to get back Chinese artifacts that had been stolen from the Summer Palace by the British. So they're breaking into museums and seeking out these artifacts. It's thrilling. Like, this is like edge of your seat kind of stuff. It felt very cinematic. I know it's being made into a show or a movie or something for Netflix, I believe. And if done correctly, I think it's going to be amazing. I am so very excited to get more of this. This is another book that I think I could see reading again in the future. But It does kind of have, twists and turns and stuff like a thriller does, so I don't want to give too much away, but you definitely feel like this glitz and glamour of this world that they're inhabiting, and you feel like the high stakes vibes. It was just phenomenal. I cannot say enough good things about this book. So I gave that one 5 stars with no hesitation because I just had so much fun reading it. Okay, the last book here. We have The School for Good Mothers by Jessamine Chan. I think I gave this 4.5 stars. So not quite 5, just because there was a section in the middle where it just kind of felt like it dragged a little bit. This is one that I've seen different opinions on. I really liked it. I thought it was well done. So in this book, it's dystopian, and it's a situation of Big Brother is always watching, and they are particularly coming down hard on parents, mothers, to be specific. And in the beginning of this, Frida, she messes up. She's a mom and she messes up, and she gets busted for it. And they pretty much throw the book at her, and she ends up in this year-long program where she's essentially sent away to this school. It's the School for Good Mothers, and they do some really creepy and unsettling things that are supposedly meant to teach her how to be a good mother. It This made me so uncomfortable so many times and in so many ways, which is part of why I enjoyed it. This is another one. I read a lot of thrillers, so it gets really difficult to talk about them because I don't want to give away spoilers. So if you like stuff that's like dystopian but thriller at the same time, I think you'll like this one. Just be warned that from a content point of view, it's a it's a bit intense. There's a lot of like unsettling things that happened, and there's a lot of moments where I just sat there and I was like, this is not fair. None of this is fair. And I was getting so angry. Um, so yeah, it'll be up to you if you think that will fit your reading tastes. Let's check the comments here. Okay. Yeah, no, Jessamine Chan, wow. I don't think, I'm trying to think if I read anything else from the author, but that book in particular really, really threw me for a loop. So I will definitely be seeking out more because I think you have to have a particular reading taste. I think Jessamine Chan is going to be a little bit polarizing, to be honest. But for me, it was definitely good. So those are the books that I read in July that really kind of stuck out to me. I know this is coming late, but like I said, I just moved across the country. So it's been trying. It's been a trying few weeks. But yeah, go ahead if you want to check out the full list of the 16 books that I read in the month of July. They will be in the description box, and you can drop a comment if there's anyone in particular that you would like to get some feedback on. I can just respond to you in the comment. And if I don't remember, I'll just say it was forgettable and I don't remember. For a lot of people, I think that will be enough to make them decide if they want to read it or not. So thank you for those of you who tuned in live. Let's see, how's August shaping up for reading while we're here? I don't actually know how August is shaping up for reading. I've been doing a lot of audiobooks because I drove from California to Michigan. It was fun. I've read 6 books so far, which honestly isn't bad, all things considered. I have, oh wow, 3 5 stars, one that I didn't rate, a 3-star read, and a 2-star read. So not half bad, actually. So hopefully it's still pretty early in the month. What is it, the 19th? I don't even know. I think the 19th is right. So hopefully I'll be able to get at least a couple more books read. I would like to shoot for 10, and I don't think that's impossible. So Although I am reading, you know what, while we're here, let's just, yeah, 3 5 stars. They were books I specifically selected as audiobooks for the drive because I thought they might be 5 stars. And I was like wanting things that would keep me, not necessarily upbeat, but keep my attention and keep me awake. So, yes. Currently, because why not? Currently, I'm reading 11/22/63 by Stephen King, and it is a very, very, very long book. Oh my God. I'm also reading Blood of Troy by Claire M. Andrews. This is a one I got from NetGalley. It's the sequel to Daughter of Sparta. It doesn't come out till October, I think, but I'm very much enjoying it. And I have some other things that I'm kind of like dabbling in, but nothing that I will be finishing anytime soon. So we can just leave it at that. If there's anything else anybody wants to say in the live chat, speak now before I end the broadcast. But yes, I very much appreciate whoever tuned in. I wasn't really expecting anybody to show up live because I didn't really give any kind of a heads up for it. And that's probably gonna kind of be how it goes until I get all my stuff here and can get set up. And if I like it, maybe we'll just never go back to filming and editing because I despise editing with all my heart and soul. I do think I'm going to put together a vlog though, because I have a lot of footage from the trip. I filmed a lot. So, oh, thanks, Mom. You're cute. I love you. Thank you, Margaret. You taught me everything I know. Really, though, Margaret has this series. It's called Sundays on StreamYard, although it's kind of been not so much Sundays lately just because people are busy. So yeah, if you yourself have a channel and you are interested in StreamYard at all, check out Margaret's channel. Margaret, can you drop links or no? Maybe I can. You know what? I'll just put it in the description box when I'm done with this. But yeah, so it's really informative. It was very, very helpful to me. I learned a lot. So yeah, I think that is all for me. Anybody who watches this later, thank you for also watching, and I will catch up with you guys very soon. Bye.